This is Star Radio UK.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone,
all around the world.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
The best radio show. The best radio show.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is Star Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is your girl, Bebe Clement, once again, and thank you so much for joining me. As you know, I'm here every week, same time, same place, ready to help you in the area of business and entrepreneurship, improve your financial literacy, bring any opportunities that I can your way, and of course, bring you the dopest guests that can help you on your entrepreneurial journey. Now, for those of you who are joining us for the very first time, I'm your host, Bebe Clement, and alongside my husband, I run a group of small companies. I'm also the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur, as well as Wealth Creation God's Way. And once again, I want to thank everybody that has bought those books. I also want to thank the University of Sussex that have now put it as one of their recommended reading list in their MBA program. So I really appreciate that. And yes, onwards and upwards. Now, good news, guys, good news. As you know, I've been speaking the last few months about the recession in the UK. But as at Friday last week, apparently, we are now out of recession. Yay! It's good news. It's good news. But what does that mean to you and me? Some of us don't even notice the difference, to be honest. But I think it is good news because if you're someone like me, I don't care whether the economy is down, whether the economy is doing well. Every time is a good time to invest. But I know some people need just that little bit more assurance that the economy is doing well for them to invest. So guys, no more excuses. You have the excuse of the recession. Now that's passed. Now the economy is apparently climbing out slowly but steadily. We're officially out of recession. So this is a good time to invest. So look around for what you can go into and you can use to develop different income streams. Now, as you know, social media can help you expand your reach. It can get you new customers. It can help build your tribe, as they say, and establish you as the go-to person in your industry. Listen, I've got to say that social media has been brilliant for people like me, people who are building personal brands, because it has leveled the playing field. Suddenly, an unknown name can play on the same field as the big boys, as the corporates. Social media has made all that possible. Now, this is achievable for practically anybody in business now, but different platforms have different vibes, as you know, and they attract different audiences. So you must decide on the one that attracts the customer base that you are into, your demographic. You must decide, because not all clients visit or spend time on all platforms. So you must first of all identify, where is my tribe? Where are my people? Where are my customers? Where do they visit the most? Is it Twitter? Is it Facebook? Whatever. And then establish a presence there. So one of the things that I've discovered about LinkedIn is that I think LinkedIn tends to cut through all the fluff. And what I mean by that is that most people who are on LinkedIn or who visit LinkedIn, on numerous occasions or consistently, are people who are serious about their business. Perhaps not so much on places like Facebook, but those who come to LinkedIn because they're just that little bit more serious about their business, which of course saves you time. But there's still a lot of mystery about, how do I make it work for me? And so to enable us to get a bit more information and education about how to make LinkedIn work for us, I have one fantastic guest on the show, and it gives me the utmost pleasure to welcome to the show Ekua Cant. Ekua, you're welcome to Bebe Means Business.
Thank you, Bebe. Thank you so much for the kind and warm welcome. And first of all, I just want to echo what you said. So as business owners, before I even get to my intro, I just want to pick up on what Bebe said, because she said something really important, and that is, don't spend your energy everywhere and anywhere with the various social platforms. Pick one or two, but be focused, because as business owners, we don't have time. Time is money, okay? Yeah.
Okay. So as you can see, guys, we're off to a roaring start. She's good to go. So that's what I like to see. Ekua, before we really get into it, give us a little bit about your background and how you became interested in leveraging LinkedIn for business growth.
Sure. So for me, I have been a business owner for 4.5 years, going on 5 years. And I was originally a career coach. That's been my my main business. But through being a career coach, obviously part of that work is helping entrepreneurs and also job seekers to find work. And LinkedIn is obviously a very big platform for that. But about, I'd say about 6 weeks ago, I had a real epiphany that actually I could do more with LinkedIn. And this is what I want to share with you, because it doesn't take long, but it takes consistency. It takes focus and it takes intention. So before I get too excited, I'm just going to slowly tell you the story about how I actually became a LinkedIn coach as my primary business, as opposed to a career coach. So the first thing is that I've always known that LinkedIn is a big space, right? There are 1 billion users on LinkedIn. Now, people say that LinkedIn is saturated. It really isn't. It's far from the truth. What is actually quite interesting about LinkedIn is that although there are many people, many faces, many businesses, there are so many opportunities and there's so much money to be had. But actually, the amount of people who are actually consistent and who are posting is still only about 1%. So you can see already that there's a massive opportunity for you as an intentional business owner to really bring in the money. So what did I do? Basically, I ran 2 workshops. So one was called the LinkedIn workshop for career advancement. As it sounds, it was about career professionals, helping them to find jobs, helping them to build their personal brand, helping them to get paid a high salary. The second one, which is more of your interest, is the LinkedIn Business Edition. So here I was like, actually, I want to make a workshop for myself and actually for others who want to use LinkedIn to nurture leads, to actually get customers and clients, to really use LinkedIn in all of its full totality in order to be successful and in order to build that pathway to building cash and business growth.
Okay. All right, cool. And for those who might be new to LinkedIn, actually, before I go to that, one of the things that you said was you emphasized the issue of intention and consistency. What does that look like? And I say this because, for instance, I have a friend who took it, upon himself as his goal for 2024 to ensure that he posts every day on LinkedIn. Now, we were having a conversation, and he's been true to that. He's been true to that every day I check. So we were having a conversation the other day, and he was saying that in as much as he's been consistent with that, he thinks the benefits of doing so have been more for him as opposed to him seeing it translate into new customers. Now, he writes excellent articles, absolutely excellent articles. And so there's a lot of, he starts a lot of conversations, people are fully engaged and everything, but it's not necessarily translating into new clients or really what we're all looking for, into money. What advice would you give to someone who is intentional and who is consistent, but it doesn't seem to be translating?
Wow, Bebe, you're starting hard. Yes. I love it. Okay. Yes, I'm here for that. So what's interesting about consistency is, I'm going to break it to you, it's not about posting every day. Okay. That is the first thing to say. But it is about posting regularly. But it's not just about posting. It's about different kinds of posting, but also actually being a creator on LinkedIn. Because actually being a creator on LinkedIn is what brings you the money and the clients and the customers. So it's not enough just to be posting consistently articles and posts and polls and things of that nature. What you actually need to do to make the money is actually to nurture and to use creator tools. So what I mean by creator tools are things like hosting LinkedIn Lives, hosting LinkedIn audio rooms, and really actually using LinkedIn to draw your own crowd and to share your expertise in a live format. That is where the money is.
Right. Okay. So we're looking at live shows. Let me write that down. I'm learning as well. Okay. All right. And I take it it's free to host those kind of shows, is it, on LinkedIn?
Yes. And let me tell you a little bit about how that works. So not everyone is enabled to be a creator. So LinkedIn sort of ranks users by how many followers and how big their platform is. So if you have a big enough platform, LinkedIn will offer you what they call creator tools. And creator tools are things that allow you to run live video streams, allow you to set up audio rooms, and those bonus features. So first of all, you must have the correct audience size in order to be able to use them. Now,
what size would that be? What are you
I think, I don't know the exact number, but it is in the thousands. But it's not like 10 or 20,000. It's more like, a few to 5,000, I would say.
Right.
Roughly in that ballpark. But one important thing that I want to let everyone know about LinkedIn Lives is that LinkedIn do not themselves actually provide you with the streaming platform. So you have to actually yourself sign up to a third party. So like StreamYard or any other video stream platform that you would choose to use. LinkedIn is just the bridge. So what happens is they give you the facility to be able to run a LinkedIn Live, but then you yourself must then choose a streaming partner to make that happen.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Sorry, you mentioned the name of one streaming partner. Who was that?
StreamYard.
StreamYard. Okay. Are there any others that might be of use to them?
They are, but that's the one I recommend. It's pretty.
That's the one you recommend. Okay, that's fine. Any particular reason why you recommend that one? Is it easy to use or what?
It's easy to use, and their free account's very good.
Okay, cool. So you'd have to have a certain number, right? Okay. So it's not just about consistency per se, although consistency is a prerequisite. But yeah, okay. I think we've got that. All right, guys. I hope you got that. So it's not the number of posts that you're making. Okay. What are some common misconceptions? No, actually, let me go back a bit. Could you explain why you think LinkedIn in particular is such a valuable platform for business professionals? What is it about LinkedIn that makes it stand out?
So for me, it's the versatility of the different things that you can do on LinkedIn. So the funny thing about LinkedIn is that people used to think that it was quite static and it's quite boring, but actually LinkedIn have realized that there's an opportunity for them to have business owners and business and professionals on here. And so what they have done is actually build the tools to help business owners. So as I was saying before, the audio rooms, the LinkedIn Lives, the articles and newsletters, there's all things that you can use as a business owner to nurture your particular customers and clients and to attract them pretty easily. So for me, it has the features that allow you to basically to speak to people, to bring them together, to nurture them, but also for you to be able to have those one-to-one conversations in the DMs and then obviously ultimately take them onto a sales call.
Okay. Now that's interesting because I've never actually seen a LinkedIn Live. I've seen Insta Live, I've seen Facebook Live, but I've never actually seen or been invited to a LinkedIn Live. So that's interesting to hear. It really is. Okay. All right. We're going to take one more question and then we're going to take a quick break. So what are some common misconceptions, would you say, that people have about using LinkedIn for business growth?
So I think that a common misconception is what we've just been talking about. So it's just enough to post. It is not just enough to post. It is being intentional with posting and being clear about why you're posting and what you're using the post to do. So yesterday I was doing a class about posting with confidence, and I was telling people that you need to be have a clear intention. So whether that is to engage, whether that's to educate, whether that's to inspire, whether that's to actually sell, there has to be a clear intention behind how you are posting. It can't be confused, because if it is confused or there are too many things going on, you don't get the results.
Right, that's interesting. That is interesting. So you have to, so it has to be lean. It has to be very clear. And like you said, I think you as the business person yourself have to be clear about what it is that you're trying to achieve. Yes, I think, you're right. Okay, I agree with that. Okay. We're going to take a short break. For those who have not been on the show before, this is a live show. It's also interactive, so we want to hear your views. If you have any questions for Ekua, she's here and she's open to answering those questions. Seize this opportunity, because that's, the whole point of this program, to help you to acquire as much knowledge and practical experience that will move your business and your finances forward. So please feel free to contact us. If you are watching us from Facebook, then just put your question or your comment in the chat and we'll have a look at that. If you are hooking us up via Twitter, then by all means use our Twitter handle, which is @StarRadioUK. That's @StarRadioUK. Or you can text or WhatsApp us on 07539 661 744. That number again, 07539 661 744. We're going to take a short break, but don't go away. We'll be back in a moment. Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Hi guys, welcome back. It's your girl Bebe Clement, and today we are looking at how to use LinkedIn to grow your business. because you got to grow. You got to grow. You must have a growth strategy. Particularly, I say this for my people. We tend to start small and end even smaller. We got to get away from that. You've got to be thinking, how do I grow this business? How do I grow this business? And look for tools in which can enable you to do just that. So today we have on the show Ekua Cant, and she's been talking us through some of the things that we need to do if we're going to be effective in using LinkedIn to grow our business. Okay, so just before the break, we were looking at some of the misconceptions that people have in using LinkedIn for business growth. And I wanted to discuss a couple of problems that I've had and things that people have mentioned to me, and just hear your comments on it. One of them is that there's a I don't know if this is a misconception or it is a true conception, that LinkedIn tends to be a bit too stuffy. And sometimes I see on LinkedIn, maybe someone said something a bit light-hearted or something, and they quickly get told off for that kind of thing. What are your views on that? Do you think that LinkedIn is kind of softening, for want of a better word, or changing direction somewhat, or what are your views on LinkedIn in relation to that?
Well, it's twofold. It's actually a misconception, and actually LinkedIn wants you to have fun. They've launched games for you to play on the platform, so that says it all to me. Yeah.
Where do we find these games?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, just search LinkedIn games and they're there.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally been launched in the last 2 weeks.
All right. You got the scoop here, guys. So within the last 2 weeks, LinkedIn has launched LinkedIn Games.
Yeah.
So for all you stuffy business people who want a little bit of time out to chill, LinkedIn Games might be your thing. Another thing is that LinkedIn is not welcoming or user-friendly for younger people. What are your views on that? I have a lot of young people saying, we never go to LinkedIn, please. What are your views on that?
That's a myth, and that's their mindset. They're shooting themselves in the foot, because they just basically think because it's not Insta, it's not fun, and it's not going to be easy. It's in their mind, because actually young people know how to use technology, and if they embrace it, it's there for them.
Right. Okay. So you heard that. I mean, I lecture at Bebe's Business School, which is part of University of London, and how to use LinkedIn is a big part of our syllabus. It really is a big part of our syllabus. So it is important, and not everything has to be fun, ladies and gentlemen. That's the truth of the matter. Some things have to be done, and some things are useful or beneficial to you. They might not necessarily be entertaining, because we're all about being entertained now. But there's some things that are necessary to move you forward, and I think LinkedIn is one of those platforms. Okay, so talk us through some key steps. I mean, you've mentioned a couple already, but talk us through some key steps that a business should take to optimize its presence on LinkedIn for growth, particularly for growth.
Okay, great. So I have 5 things which I recommend that you do to optimize your profile, and they're really basic and simple things. So these are things that you can just do pretty easily. So the first thing is your banner. So a lot of people don't realize that the banner, the thing next to behind your photo, is prime real estate. That thing should not be grey. That should basically ensure that you have you're using it to share about your business. So whether that's okay, let me just slow it down. So there's 3 types of banner. So there's a know, like, and trust banner. So that's, hi, I'm Bebe Clement, and I'm a leader, and I'm a speaker, and I'm a whatever. And your little badge is about your awards and your book. Fine, that's your know, like, and trust banner. The second one is your event banner. Hi, I'm Bebe, I'm doing the radio show today. Come and join me. That's the second one. The third one is, hi, I'm Bebe, and I have this amazing program. The details are here. Go to this link to book a discovery call. This is the 3 main types of banner. So banner is number 1 in your profile optimization. And number 2, a photo. Please, people, when you have your photo, make it nice, make it light, make it bright. You don't have to spend on photography, but you do need to make sure that it represents your brand, your personality, and the kind of image that you want to represent yourself on LinkedIn. So that's the second thing. The third thing is a headline. You want us to have a money-making headline. And so what I mean by this is, yes, you might say, hi, I am Ekua, and I'm a career coach, and I am an author. But you might also want to say, you're a trainer, you are a mentor, you are a creator, whatever. But have those key anchors around what other opportunities for you to make money in the headline. So that's That's the second thing. The third thing is open to work. So open to work for business owners is not about finding a job. It's about actually attracting opportunities for speaking, for training, for other things which may not necessarily be your mainstay, but they're things that you can also do. So that is another thing. And then the final thing is have a custom URL. So you don't have to have your name. So my name is Ekua Cant. So Ekua and Cant is my name. But my link doesn't actually say that. My link says make your profile visible. So when you click on my link, it doesn't actually say my name. It says that. And so when you go to my profile, you then see my banner. And normally my banner will be telling you something about something like an event, or be telling you that, or about my program. But the point is, though, you're connecting the link to my service. It's not just my name. So you're actually already getting pre-advertised before you've even been on my profile.
Wow. That itself is worth the money.
Thank you.
I'm frantically looking at, visualizing my LinkedIn page and thinking, oh, okay, there's work to be done. Okay, that's cool. All right. Now, how important is, you've touched on this already, content creation, but more importantly about sharing on LinkedIn. What strategies have you found that are most effective in engaging your audience?
So I think when you think about the content that you share, you should be intentional. So you should think about your content, as I was saying, in different kinds of categories. So educating people about the problem and the pain that they're in. You want to have that kind of content for sure. Then you may want to have, more of, you're here, but you want to be here, and why you don't want to stay in the pain, that kind of thing. And then you might want to have content that's more about, okay, here is my client who's already been through the pain. They're transformed, their life is great, and this is why you can trust me to do the same with you.
And how important do you think video testimonials are in relation to LinkedIn?
So I think that both video and written testimonials work fine on LinkedIn. I don't think either is more powerful, but I think what is the thing is having them regularly as part of the content is the most powerful thing. Okay,
cool. Okay, all right. Let's go to networking. Now, anybody that knows me or listens to this show regularly knows that I'm always harping on about networking, improving the quality of your network. It's not just a matter of having 10,000 people on your page. Likes on your page are not customers. Customers are customers. So how, networking, improving the quality of your network, ensuring that you are always expanding your reach, I think is really, really important. Now, how crucial is networking on LinkedIn, or does it not matter, or in your view? And what tips do you have for building and nurturing meaningful relationships? And I'll tell you one of the reasons why I say that. So, for instance, I have a friend who, we're in a similar industry. She's a speaker as well, and she gets all these corporate gigs. And I was talking to her the other day, and I was like, how do you do that? How do you get all these corporate gigs? And she said, to be honest, most of them come through LinkedIn, that kind of thing. And I was thinking, okay, so I was checking what she posts on LinkedIn. I was thinking, okay, so what is it that she's posting that is attracting all these people? But back to the question, how crucial is networking on LinkedIn, or does it not matter? And how do you build and nurture meaningful networks?
So I think you've raised a very good point. So a lot of the time people think that LinkedIn is just about the posting and the likes and engagement and the DMs, but it's actually more than that. It's actually about the people-to-people connections, and that can be a missing part of your strategy. So it's actually important that as you're growing your network, that you spend time actually meeting the people and being intentional about who you're actually accepting into your network, and not just having everyone and anyone. Because a lot of the time, as you're building your business, there are a lot of people who will naturally be attracted to you, and they will want to be either selling to you or they just want to be in your network. But you have to, decide. And what I say to people is have an 80-20 rule. So 80% of the people that you want to be having in your network are actually potential customers or clients, that kind of thing. 20% can be like service providers, other peers, people who might have been in your past, work or your past business or whatever. but it's important to be intentional about building and nurturing that network. And then the third thing is about the whole taking it off just being in LinkedIn itself. So what I mean by this is when you're connecting with people, actually say, hey, I would actually like to have a half an hour, 20-minute coffee chat with you just to talk and find out more about you and your business. And then also that's easy content for you because everyone needs to be raising their profile, and easy ways to raise a profile is actually through networking and showing people that you're actually meeting people on LinkedIn. And it's funny that you should say this because literally last weekend I was in Birmingham and I didn't tell one of my LinkedIn friends I was going to be there, and we both kind of were there. And we both were like, oh, you're here. Oh, I've never met you. But we know each other from LinkedIn. And then, we obviously shared out on LinkedIn. But the point here is that you have to make the intention to actually reach out and have those, coffee chats or in person if you can.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah. I was also at an event last week and there was a woman speaking. She's a very successful lawyer. And she was saying that practically every time she has been headhunted, she's been headhunted through LinkedIn. And the last job that she was invited to take up, she said, the guy said, I have been watching your career on LinkedIn. And she found that interesting because she never thought that anybody was watching her career on LinkedIn. But he said, no, I have been following your career for years and taking note. And now I think, yes, you're definitely someone that we can use. So from that perspective, I think it's really important that LinkedIn users are aware that people are watching, probably more so than other platforms, that people are actually watching. They may not say anything. I mean, she'd never heard from this guy before. She didn't even know he existed. But for years, he had been silently watching her career and thinking, how can I use this woman in my business? So I think it is important that we're aware of that. And just like you said, be careful what you post. Because, if you're posting something, if people are watching you and they think that you're someone to be taken seriously, and then you suddenly start posting some rubbish on LinkedIn, then that, dispels the whole, feeling or belief that they had about you and perhaps your suitability for a particular role or business that they wanted to conduct with you. Okay, I'm going to take another short break and then we'll be back again. I know you have some things coming up that you want to discuss with us. So we'll talk a little bit about that when we come back. I've got some things coming up as well that I want to talk about. So we'll do that when we come back. Be back in a minute, ladies and gentlemen.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, Bebe Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Get ready for this.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bebe Means Business Show. If you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you for tuning in. We thank you for giving us your time. And today on the show, we have Ekua Cant, and she has very, very well been talking us through the importance of using LinkedIn, how to use it to best advantage, the do's and don'ts, and the no's and no-nos of using LinkedIn. Before we go back to that, there are a couple of events coming up I'd like to talk about, that I'm hosting, that I'd like to talk about. The first one is Twilight Connections. Twilight Connections. Archie, if you wouldn't mind putting that up, thank you. I've also just sent you something. If you look at WhatsApp, you'll find it, Archie. So yes, so Twilight Connections is a networking event that I'm having on Friday, the 7th of June. Unfortunately, early bird has finished, but you can now still get your ticket for £35. If you're just that little bit more serious about your business, this is something definitely for you. It comes on the heels of the very successful Women in Business Network that I had in March, and people kept saying, girl, you got to do another one quick. So we always hearken to the voice of the people, so we got another one coming along. But this time, we want the guys as well. It's not just the ladies, we want the guys as well. But come along. There's lots to do. If you want to expand your reach, then come along to this. If you want to get new clients, come along to this. One of our delegates in fact, two of our delegates last networking event, they pitched at the event. It just took a few minutes. They had 5 minutes with which to pitch their product, which they did, and both of them got good orders on the day. So it's definitely worth coming along. You will have an opportunity to address the room for a small fee. We only allow 3 businesses to do that, so I would encourage you to get in there fast. But it's definitely worth doing and coming along to. So please spread the word, and I look forward to seeing you there. I've got another thing coming up. I'm not sure if yes, thank you so much. This is a mastermind group. Now, I think a mastermind group should be something that every business owner should have as part of their strategic plan and part of their own personal development. Now, on there you can see, the essence of a mastermind group. In the one that I run, we run it every 6 weeks. And what we do is we get together to help you deal with practical problems in your business. So it's not a talking shop, and it's not even a networking group. It is very to the point. This is the problem I'm having. How do you help me solve it? That's what we do there. And then we give you homework every week to ensure that you don't procrastinate, to help you stay on track. And you come back next week and you report the homework. We also open our doors to our network for you, which most of the mastermind group find very, very useful. So any needs that you have, that we can assist you with the network, you get it for next to nothing, if anything, and we open our network to you to help you. But it's worth joining, whether you join mine or another one, it doesn't really matter, but it's worth having a mastermind group as part of your business strategy. Of course, I'd love to serve you this way, and if you do decide to join up, the number to call is 0203 223 0800. That's 0203 223 0800. We just finished the last one last night, and so the next one is starting the first week in June. So I would definitely encourage you to sign up for that. Okay, so back to business. So Ekua, thank you very much for being on the show again today. Let's talk a little bit more about LinkedIn. Do you have any successful case studies or examples? Actually, let's talk about you, because I like the personal touch. How has LinkedIn helped your business? How has it helped you grow your business effectively, or improved your client base, or just your brand?
Okay, I'm going to pause on that one because I want to really say something really important about what you said about the lady who had a lurker watching her, and then he said she was at the right stage in her career for the opportunity to come into fruition. So something that's really important and that you don't hear, which I want to share with your listeners, Bebe, is that it's not actually the likes and the comments that are most profitable. It's actually the silent lurkers that are the most profitable for you. The people who are watching silently and watching and watching and watching, and then one day you just come into your DM and say, hey, I've been watching Bebe. Hey, I've been watching Ekua. Hey, I've been watching Jane, Jim, Joe, whoever. And actually, I see you, and now I think that I'm ready to work with you, or now I want to collaborate with you, or now I want to invite you to do X, Y, Z. That's what I want to say, because I think that a lot of us are hung up on going viral, and viral is not it. It's actually consistency and silent lurkers.
Silent lurkers. I like that phrase. All right. Okay. So thanks for that. So can we go back to the other question? Let's use you as a case study. How has LinkedIn helped you grow your business, or improve your brand or your client base?
Yeah, so I would say, for example, I always like to tell people that when you're thinking about content, it can be sometimes hard, and you might think that it can be frustrating. And one of the things I say is you're always going to events and conferences and up-leveling your knowledge as a business owner, as you should be, right? So if you go to an event, then just literally write a post about what you learned about that. And actually recently I went to an event last month, and I did the same as I tell everyone to do. I was literally just writing about what I had reflected upon. This event was about Black women in the workplace, Black women sort of, the challenges that they face, but also how to kind of, be most effective in the workplace. And, I wrote 3 points summarizing, what they can do to best, own their space. And then out of nowhere, someone DM'd me to say they want to basically reproduce my post in a magazine and give me a free slot to advertise myself.
Oh, wow. Wow, it doesn't get better than that, to be honest. Wow. Now that's interesting, and brings me to another point, actually, is that oftentimes we are focused on the money. You know what I mean? And the example that you just gave is not necessarily money, but can lead to the money, if you know what I mean.
Yes, exactly.
It's just as important, if not even more so. Yeah. Okay. Particularly branding. I think LinkedIn is really good for improving your brand or growing your brand. It's very important. Okay. So are there any... Yeah, I know I was having this debate with somebody the other day. Are there particular industries or types of businesses that you believe benefit more from LinkedIn than others? And if so, why?
No, I think it's open for all business, but it's about you understanding your expertise and your way to communicate to your people. It really is about actually you, yourself, being the doctor to their cure, and really understanding that you are the doctor to their cure and knowing how to communicate to people, because actually LinkedIn is there for everybody who wants to utilize it, is my view.
Okay, so staying with that for a minute. So for example, I never see people like, let's say for example, people who sell t-shirts. I never see those kind of people on LinkedIn. I see the lawyers, I see the accountants, I see the tax advisors and all those kind of people, speakers, blah, blah. But I never see anyone say, I sell handbags or things like that. I never see that on LinkedIn. So from that regard, and I think this is where LinkedIn gets its kind of stuffy image from, or perceived, it might not be a correct image, a perceived stuffy image. So I never see that kind of thing. And even the young people, I was saying earlier on that a lot of young people say to me they don't go to LinkedIn. Even the young people that I see on LinkedIn, I see them like posting articles, or they're looking for an internship or things like that. So not to disagree with you, but what are your views on that? Do you think LinkedIn doesn't lend itself to be an attractive place for people like that, people selling handbags and t-shirts and things like that?
Well, Bebe, I'm going to disagree with you vehemently and going to say it's the mindset. And what I will tell you actually is there's a lady, in fact, I'll name drop her because why not? I'm on the show. So Dovetailed London, she does beautiful dresses. I'm not wearing one of her garments today, but I would do another time. But she is on LinkedIn. She is dropping her jumpers, her dresses. I'm loving it and liking it, and I bought her stuff. So I'm saying it's the mindset. It's not that people are not there, it's also who you know. And I have to know her, and I'm following her, and therefore buying her stuff.
Right. Okay. So that's definitely a misconception on my part, and perhaps your parts as well. So yes, so you can find those kind of people. So if you're in those kind of industries, don't rule out LinkedIn. Explore. There's no guarantee, but you don't have anything to lose. So, but don't just close the door on it and think, oh, it's LinkedIn, I can't put my handbags on there. So don't just close the door. Okay, fine. Now, looking ahead, how do you see the landscape of LinkedIn for business evolving? Are there specific trends that businesses should be prepared to leverage in the coming years when it comes to LinkedIn?
Yes, so and you can already see it. So what LinkedIn wants is for you to lean into being an expert. So you'll see that LinkedIn is very keen for you to contribute to their AI-generated articles. There's going to be more of that. And in fact, they really are passionate and want people who they deem to be thought leaders to share educational content, as they deem it to be, in order to educate people on various things in business and in career. And one thing that's going to come, which hasn't come yet, is suggested sort of educational posts. So if you're like, let's say, a LinkedIn top voice or a LinkedIn community voice, what LinkedIn will do in the future is they will basically advertise some of your posts for you that they think are providing value to the LinkedIn community.
Oh, wow. And that will be free, or will that be paid?
Yeah, that'll be free. That'll be free.
Oh, wow. Actually, do you know what? Can you say that again? I don't want people to miss that, because that's quite an interesting one. Yeah.
Okay.
That last bit again, yeah.
Okay, so if you are a LinkedIn top voice or a LinkedIn community voice, in the future, what LinkedIn will be doing is they will be highlighting some of your educational content, and they will be saying to people, Ekua Cant is a thought leader in LinkedIn. We think you should read her post about this. Or Bebe Clement is a thought leader on entrepreneurship and money. We think you should read her post on this.
Wow. Okay. Now that's interesting, because one of the things I noticed recently was that they started sending me these links and saying, we want you to contribute to this topic, which I do. Sometimes it can be time consuming, so I don't have the time, but whenever I can, I do. But now that I think about it, and now that you've mentioned what you just said, that the ramifications of that, or the potential of that, are actually huge, to be honest. Your name will start getting out there in ways that you didn't envisage.
Okay, but Bebe, I want to warn you and everybody here about how this works. Right. So, So now, it is good for you to put your name out there, for you to respond to some of these questions, but it is not good for you to think that this is going to be the key to visibility and actual paid clients. I think it's something you should do as you have time, but don't sink your time and effort into this, because actually there's no guarantee. I want to make this really clear. So there's no guarantee that they will award you a top voice or a community voice. They may do, but it's not certain. And I've seen, unfortunately, really sad cases where I had a friend who spent 6 months literally contributing to these articles and things. Nothing. They did not reward her with the community voice. So it's not a guarantee. It is something that they may do. What I would advise you to do actually is be a creator. That's what they really want. So the audio rooms and the LinkedIn lives, that kind of thing is a thing, as opposed to answering these questions that will make them see you as someone who is actually an expert as they leave it on LinkedIn.
Okay, well, in that case, because you mentioned earlier that in order to get into these audio rooms and LinkedIn lives, you have to have at least a certain number of followers. So would your advice be to concentrate on building up your followership?
I would say yes, build up, if it's intention, your the number of people that you have following you and in your network. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. So those are first steps. You mentioned very briefly AI. I think that moves nicely onto my next question. What effect do you think AI is going to have, not necessarily just on LinkedIn, but what effect do you think AI is going to have on the efficacy of social media in growing your business?
So I think that it can be a helpful tool, but I would very much caution against relying on it, because people don't actually like to see AI generated content. And it's a funny thing here. So we want to all be productive and we all want to use those tools to be efficient, but people don't actually like to see that content out in the wider world. And I'll tell you a story. In fact, I'll out myself. So once, a while back, when ChatGPT was newer, I was wanting to launch a new program. So I used ChatGPT to get some information and sort of put together a post. So I put together this post. I told everyone, this post was mainly done by ChatGPT. Now, compared to most of my other posts, that post was very poorly received, and it was because I outed myself as using ChatGPT to primarily write this thing. Now, if I had not outed myself, people would have not have known, and they would have received it very differently. So there's a weird AI snobbery. So if you don't know, people people don't like you to admit to using it. Go ahead and use it, but don't admit to it, because people just will not engage with this.
I was going to say, how would people know? But you said you outed yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. But okay. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that, actually. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we're going to round up soon, and so I'm going to give you an opportunity to promote some of the things that you're going to be doing in the near future. But before you do that, now you're neurodivergent, and what does this mean for those of us that, especially in our community? I'm really big on educating our people on things like this. What does neurodivergence mean, and how would you say that has helped or hindered your professionalism, or you professionally?
Yeah. So I guess it has been a journey that I've been on, because it was something that I wasn't in the past very comfortable talking about, because as Black woman, being someone else, the global majority, there are many challenges that we face. And having labels upon labels is just something that is not always easy to navigate. So that's the first thing. But in time and through the journey, I've recognized that actually they make me unique, and they actually make me more creative. So especially when it comes to things like dyslexia, although dyslexia, people think people being able to read and not being very good with spelling, punctuation, and grammar, all that stuff. Yes, that is all true. But actually, dyslexic people are very creative, very entrepreneurial. Richard Branson, so it's not something to be ashamed of. But I think that there's a lot of stigma in our communities about this. But actually, we need to recognize that people just need support and to be able to flourish and to actually be put in the right educational opportunities for them to do what it is they're best at doing.
So is dyslexia what you're...
So I have dyslexia and dyscalculia. So that's the as I was saying, reading, spelling, whatever. And then dyscalculia is actually about mathematics. So I'm not like numerate. Right.
Okay. I definitely got that. And anything past it's gone over my head. Okay. All right. So do you think now that we're more aware, and this awareness goes way beyond our community.
Yes.
Even in the wider community, we're only just beginning to embrace the concept of neurodivergence. Now that it is becoming, for want of a better word, sexy, do you think that in the business space there is more room being made for neurodivergence?
I think there's more room, but I still think there's more to do in this space, because I think that because it's such a wide and varied spectrum, the amount of different conditions out there we've not really seen the breadth and the scale. So I think that actually every time we'll see more, and actually there'll be different accommodations that people will realize and will need to be made. But I think at the moment there's still a lot of people who are hiding and masking, which I understand, because obviously it's not comfortable to be different. But actually being an entrepreneur, being different is the secret sauce, is the key to the success and the thinking different and the being able to actually innovate.
Yeah, definitely. I want to commend you for speaking about it, because as you said, particularly in our community, there's a lot of stigma and misunderstanding around these kind of things. So I want to thank you for doing that, and hope that you will continue to do so, because that will encourage others in our community who may want to be more open but don't know how to be. If we can see you're doing well, you're thriving, you're on this show, so you're on the Bebe Means Business show, so what else, So thank you very much for doing that and educating us in that way. Okay, so let's go to some of the things that you're doing. What are you doing that we need to know about?
Okay, so I am really excited to share some opportunities with you. So the first thing is my profile optimization opportunity. So if you are a business owner and you are confident, you've been in business for 3-5 years, but you actually just want to revamp your profile and you need a bit of strategic help, I have got what I call a profile glow up opportunity. So please do get in touch about that. But actually, what I really love to help people on is on the full LinkedIn journey. So I have actually a program, and it comes in 2 forms. So the program is both a 3 and 6 month program, and it's my All-Star Plus program. And basically, it takes you from the beginning of your LinkedIn journey to understanding, who you want to be on LinkedIn, creating that mission statement, and then sort of strategizing and making a plan for you to be successful and to meet your goals. And obviously, because I'm the Bebe show, I've got an amazing deal for you guys. So exactly. So if you want to sign up for the 3 month program by the end of May, I'm going to throw in my amazing mini masterclass on posting with confidence, which I did yesterday, and that's like an hour of pure gold about how to post with confidence, like Beyonce, in fact. But if you want to do the full 6 months and do this slow and easy, I've got something really amazing for you, an amazing bonus, which basically is the LinkedIn Business Edition workshop. I'm going to throw that in with the 6 months program opportunity. And that is a masterclass in really some things that you don't know about LinkedIn, that LinkedIn loves, which you'll be very surprised to know. I'm going to give you one little hint, but I'm not going to give it away, because actually there's so many things. So LinkedIn actually loves happy people. It likes celebration. And if you use celebration to your advantages on LinkedIn, there are some massive benefits for your engagement. That's all I shall say.
I've written that one down. Okay. Do you have a book?
Yes. So I have a book called Be Your Number One Cheerleader, and it's all about building a great mindset and being the CEO of your career and of your life, and being successful and being using a positive growth mindset to do so.
And where can we find this book?
You can find this book on my website and on Amazon.
What's your website address, please?
It's www.beyournumberonecheerleader.com.
All right, guys, you heard it there. Beyournumberonecheerleader.com. So please visit that and get her book. As you can see, she's just overflowing with information, particularly in relation to how you can use LinkedIn and social media to grow your business, to develop your brand, and to get new clients and be seen, to get out there and be seen. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you once again for coming along to the BB Means Business show. Just before you go, that quick reminder about the two events that I'm holding that are coming up. The first one is Twilight Connections. There you go, Twilight Connections, and that's on the 7th of June, 2024. Just a couple of hours, 2.5 hours, 6 to 8:30 p.m. It's on a Friday. You've had a tough week. You want to unwind. You want to chill, but you still want to throw in a little bit of business. That is the place to be. So please come along to that. It's in Wood Green. All the details are on the screen. You can also go to my website, bbclement.com. That's bbclement.com, and you will find all the details on there. So sign up to that. It's affordable, definitely worth your while. The second thing that I have coming up in June is the Mastermind Group. Yay! So the Mastermind Group is going to start again first week in June. So please sign up to that. If you can't attend, get some people in your senior leadership team to come along. It is definitely worth their while. They'll begin to think differently. I can assure you, they'll begin to think differently and be armed to move your business forward. You do not want to stagnate, because stagnation very quickly turns into going backwards, and you can't afford for that to happen. We got to keep moving forward. We got to keep learning. We got to relearn. Do all that we need to do, because things are changing very quickly, ladies and gentlemen. The landscape of the marketplace is being redrawn. And if you are not up to speed, if you cannot keep up, your business will become a dinosaur. It is really that simple. So you need all the help that you can get, as indeed do I. There's no better way in which to do it, but to be around other purpose-driven people who are on track to going somewhere with their business. Not just talking about it, but they being about it. So I want to thank you, Ekua, for coming along today. It has been very, very enlightening. I don't know about anybody else, but I was taking notes like crazy. And I'm going to go look at my LinkedIn page and see what needs to be amended. I might be giving you a phone call, actually, so we can get together. But I want to thank you very much also for championing neurodiversity. Thank you so much for doing that as well. Good luck with all that you're doing. Good luck with all that you're doing. And thank you for coming on. I really hope that we can have you on the show again. So look out for that invitation. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for being here. I'll be here again, same time, same place next week, Tuesday, 1:30 to 2:30. Tell other people. And now we have YouTube BB Means Business show. So if you go onto YouTube, you'll find it. Please like and subscribe as well. And I will be here again next week. Now it's time for you to go make some money. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, it's your girl Bebe Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur, and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business, but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Star Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.